Okay, so today topic is capacitor. Okay, already we have some kind of understanding on capacitor, how the capacitor is behaving for DC supply as well as the AC supply. And for AC supply, when you again for a capacitor, which one will lead? Okay, inductor means voltage will lead. Capacitor means clearly, I already told you the shortcut. Capacitor means which one will lead. The current will lead, the voltage will lag finally. Okay, if it is a capacitor nature, current will lead, voltage will lag. That's a simple idea. Okay, so with that understanding, we'll start. Okay, now I am having the AC signal. Okay, V bar, and it is connected to the directly connected to the capacitor C. Now whatever the voltage I apply here, same voltage will be appearing across this capacitor. Okay, and again some current will flow here. Okay, that is I bar. Okay, again we have to find out the relationship between the applied voltage and the current supplied by the battery, whether is there any phase shift between the voltage and the current. That and all we have to see now. Okay, now V bar is equal to Vm sine omega t. Okay, Vm sine omega t. Okay, so V bar is equal to Vm sine omega t, and you know the capacitor current is equation I is equal to C D. Okay, I C C dVc divided by dt. Okay, now you know what is the voltage across the capacitor, that is V only, because V is directly applied to the capacitor. So the voltage, source voltage, is same as the capacitor voltage. Okay, so this is same as Vc. Okay, same as Vc bar. Okay, now you differentiate this equation. Okay, C Vm W's differentiation of sine is cos omega t, and again CVM, what we applied is sine, but it became as a cos. So I will try to represent in terms of sine itself. So cos omega t can be written as sine omega t plus 90 degree. Okay, sine omega t plus 90 degree. And you know one thing, whenever there is 90 degree, that we can also write in terms of j. Okay, so this is omega c Vm sine omega t. You can write the j separately. Okay, so you can write that j separately, and finally this I bar is equal to omega c. This Vm sine omega t, you can write it as V bar. Okay, already j is there, so this is V bar. Okay, finally we made some relationship between the voltage and current, and you know one thing, whenever Z is there, Z is equal to V bar divided by I bar, V bar divided by I bar. Okay, whatever it may be, that may be resistance or capacitance or inductance. Impedance means always voltage divided by current. Okay, once if you write that voltage divided by current, what you will be getting? You will be getting 1 divided by j omega c. Okay, 1 divided by j omega c. Okay, and this I can write like this: 1 divided by j x c. Okay, xc means omega c. Okay, I think yes, we are making the mistake here. Yes, wait a bit. Okay, this 1 by again j I can take up. Okay, once if you take that j upward, that becomes minus j. Okay, and this remaining 1 by omega c, I can write it as xc. Okay, I can write it as xc. So now what is xc? Xc is means 1 divided by omega c. Okay, sc means 1 divided by omega c. Already minus j is there, so you have to remember that whenever capacitor is there, okay, for impedance that become minus j. If it is inductor, impedance means plus j, then the remaining parameter will come. There xl will come, here xc will come. There xl is equal to omega l, but here xc is equal to 1 by omega c. Okay, so anyway already minus j is there. Finally, again, please remember, don't get any confusion. J means it is going to be on the different axis, okay, y axis, okay, that's it. It may be on the y axis or minus y axis, that's it, okay. And rest of the things, xc is there, okay. I can write it as this as a ohm, okay, because again, because I am mentioning as impedance here, okay. So finally, this also like a ohm, but it is on the different axis, okay. It is not on the horizontal axis, it is going to be on the vertical axis, that's it, okay. This is also ohm only, okay. And again, x is equal to 1 by omega c. So from this, what it is clear, if omega increases, what will happen? If omega increases, xc will decrease, or if you decrease frequency, xc will increase, okay. So, or otherwise, if you increase your omega, then what is happening to xc? Xc will decrease, okay. So it is something opposite to inductor, because in case of inductor, when you increase the frequency, impedance will increase, but here it is something opposite, okay. When you increase the frequency, the impedance will decrease, or otherwise, what is the limiting condition? Xc is equal to 1 divided by omega c, exactly at f is equal to 0. When the frequency is 0, xc is something like infinite, okay, something like open. Or when f is very, very high, say if it is infinite, if the frequency is very, very high, then xc is equal to 0, then this is something like short circuit, okay. So your impedance is going to vary as a function of 1 divided by omega c. Now the question is, why uh, what is happening when I increase the frequency, the impedance is decreasing? Why? When I increase the frequency, okay, when I increase the frequency, the impedance is, okay, when I increase the frequency, the impedance is decreasing in case of capacitor. Why? That is a question mark now. Okay, now, okay, what I'm doing, I am going to increase the frequency. Once if I increase the frequency, okay, what will happen? More the frequency, okay, more the frequency, what will happen? Okay, you are going to charge the capacitor, okay. If the frequency is high, very quickly it will get charged, okay, very quickly. If it has to be charged very quickly, then the charging current has to be high, okay. So when the frequency is high, very quickly the capacitor has to be charged, okay. So once if it wants to be charged very quickly, then charging current has to be high, okay. So charging current is high, okay. Charging current will increase, okay. So again, if the charging current increases, what will happen to xc has to decrease, the opposition given by the capacitor has to decrease. That's why when you increase the frequency, the capacitance will decrease, okay. So what is happening in hidden manner? When you increase the frequency, it has to be, the capacitor has to be charged very quickly, within less time, with a very, very, very less time. But that is possible only with a very high current, okay. So that the current will increase automatically. Once current is increasing, means the impedance offered by the capacitor is very, very less, so that xc is decreasing. Because anyway, already you know this formula, but you should know what is happening inside the capacitor during this process, okay. And then okay, then we'll take the yes, okay, we'll take the waveform, okay. We'll draw the waveform nature. Okay, I take a sine wave. I take a sine wave. Again, this is like a VC, okay, voltage that I am applying, but that is same as the voltage across the capacitor. Okay, now I took the voltage. Now, what is the current? Okay, what is the phase difference between the voltage and current? I am already taking the voltage. Okay, this is my current, and very clearly the current is leading by 90 degree. Okay, because here itself we can see the current will lead by voltage by 90 degree. Because if you see here, even if the phase is zero, already J is there. That means current will lead the voltage by 90 degree. Okay, will lead in the sense, okay, the diagram will be shifted towards left, okay. Will lead in the sense, diagram will be shifted towards left, okay. So once if you shift this diagram towards left by 90 degree, okay, because exactly J is there, okay, you have to shift this diagram by 90 degree. Now once if you shift like that, what will happen? Okay, instead of here, okay, so again you have to shift by 90 degree, okay. Then this point will become here. Okay, this point will become here. Again, your waveform will start from here, then it goes like this. Okay, it goes like this, then it increase like this, it goes like this. Okay, now this is the current waveform IC. Okay, this is the current waveform IC, capacitor current. Now what is the power? Okay, because you are having both voltage and current, you know both the voltage and the current across the capacitor. Once if you know both voltage and current, simply you can multiply to get the power. Okay, now what is the power? Okay, once if you concentrate here in between this region, both are positive. Okay, both are positive, then definitely you'll get the positive power. Okay, so the power goes like this. Okay, then it becomes 0, because, and again, once if you concentrate in between these 2 points, this is positive but this is negative, so again here the power will be negative. Okay, now this is the power across the capacitor. Now the power is negative. Now in between these 2 interval, okay, next to 90 degree if you concentrate, okay, now this is also negative. Okay, and this is also negative, then it will become both, it will become like a positive. Okay, it will become so like this, it goes on. Okay, now you are having both voltage waveform, current waveform, and also power waveform. Okay, now see, once if you observe the power waveform, it is exactly opposite to the inductor power waveform, because in the inductor the power is starting in the negative, the first cycle itself negative cycle, then positive, but here the first cycle is positive cycle. Okay, so some change is there. Okay, that's why the power, okay, in the beginning you are getting positive power, that's why the power is called leading power. Okay, this power is called leading power. Okay, and again, you know, this power named as a volt ampere reactive. Okay, whenever you measure the power across the inductor or capacitor, that will be called as a VAR, volt ampere reactive. Why it is leading? Because in the first cycle you are getting positive. If you get the negative in the first cycle, then that is lagging. Or otherwise, another notation is there. You have to concentrate on I. What is happening for I in the capacitor? In the capacitor, what is happening to the I? I is leading. So that means power also will lead. Okay, that means power also will lead. That's another way to remember. Okay, next we will see the phasor diagram. Okay, phasor diagram means what is the phase angle between the voltage and current. Okay, what is the phase angle? The current leads by 90 degree, voltage lags by 90 degree. Okay, so current is leading. Okay, so I can put the current here, IC, I can put the voltage here. Okay, that is VC. Then what is the phase difference? 90 degree. Okay, so now the current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. What is the power factor? Power factor is always cos theta or pi, then that is cos 90 degree is equal to 0. Okay, so 0. Okay, and okay, this is the phasor relationship. Yes. Okay, yes, there is there any doubt here? Because next I will proceed with to the series RL circuit. Okay, in the last class we have seen only with L. Now we have seen only with C. Okay, so in the next class we'll see in the next after a few times. Okay, after this, okay, after this we'll see series RL circuit. Okay, yes sir, is it okay? Is there any doubt in this so far? Capacitor equation. What is happening to the both voltage and current? What is the phase delay? Okay, what is the waveform, power waveform? There are doubt. Okay, because next we are going to the some new topic. Okay.
Sir.
Yes sir. சொல்லுங்க.
Charging current எப்படி இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும்? என்ன ரிலேஷன் இருக்காது?
அதாவது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ இப்படி தரீங்க, இங்க தான் பிளேட் இருக்கு, இப்படி இருக்கு சார், இப்படி இருக்குன்னு வச்சுங்களேன். இப்போ நான் ஒரு சைன் வேவ் ஃபார்ம் வச்சிருக்கிறேன்னு வச்சுங்க. ஓகே, இப்படி ஒரு சைன் வேவ் ஃபார்ம் இருக்கு, இன்னொரு சைன் வேவ் ஃபார்ம் வந்து ரொம்ப பெருசா இருக்கு. ஓகே, ஸோ இது வந்து 1 செகண்ட்னா இங்கேயும் 1 செகண்ட் தான், அப்போ இங்கே 2 செகண்ட், பட் ஆனால் இங்கே இதுக்கு வந்து 0.5 செகண்ட் இருக்கும். இப்போ இதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேஸ்ன்னு வச்சுக்கிறேன், இது செகண்ட் கேஸ். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேஸில் வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆஃப் சைக்கிள் போகுதுன்னு வச்சுங்க சார், புரியுதா சார்? ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆஃப் சைக்கிள் போகுதுன்னு இப்போ அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு செகண்ட் டைம் இருக்கு? 1 செகண்ட் டைம் இருக்கு. ஓகே, 1 செகண்டுக்குள்ள அது போயிட்டு என்ன பண்ணும்? இது போல ஸ்டோர் பண்ணும். ஓகேங்களா? 1 செகண்டுக்குள்ள. இதுவே இந்த வேவ் ஃபார்ம் போச்சுன்னா, ஓகே, இந்த செகண்ட் வேவ் ஃபார்ம் இந்த மேல போட்டிருக்கேன்ல, அது போச்சுன்னா அதே சார்ஜ் ஸ்டோர் பண்றதுக்கு அதுக்கு எவ்வளவு நேரம் தான் எடுத்துக்கணும்? 0.5 செகண்ட். பட் ஆனா இது எவ்வளவு நேரம் எடுத்துக்கும்? 1 செகண்ட் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஓகே, இந்த பெரிய வேவ் ஃபார்ம் வந்து 1 செகண்ட் எடுத்துக்கலாம். ஆனா சின்ன வேவ் ஃபார்ம் வந்து 0.5 செகண்டுக்குள்ளே பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி மாத்தி வச்சிருக்கீங்க. புரியுதுங்களா? ஏன்னா இதனுடைய ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி வேற, இதனுடைய ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி வேற. செகண்ட் வேவ் ஃபார்முக்கு வந்து ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி அதிகம், ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேவ் ஃபார்முக்கு வந்து என்னது? ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி கம்மி. ஓகே, ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி அதிகம்னா நீங்க கொடுக்குற டைம் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கும். அப்ப அந்த கம்மியான டைம்ல சார்ஜ் ஆயிடணும். இப்போ நான் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஈக்குவேஷன் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். I is equal to என்னது? Q by T ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா?
C into dV.
No, I is equal to Q by T ஃபார்முலா ஞாபகம் இருக்குங்களா?
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகேங்களா? இப்போ பாருங்க, நான் இது ரெண்டுத்துக்கும் வோல்டேஜ் எதுவும் மாத்தல. இதனுடைய வோல்டேஜ் சேம் தான், இதனுடைய வோல்டேஜ் சேம் தான். ஆனா ஒரு கேஸ்ல 0.5 செகண்டுக்குள்ள சார்ஜ் பண்ணணும். இன்னொரு கேஸ்ல 1 செகண்டுக்குள்ள சார்ஜ் பண்ணணும். பட் Q is constant. என்ன கான்ஸ்டன்ட்? Q is constant. இப்போ இதுவே நீங்க செகண்ட் கேஸ்னா உங்க டைம் என்ன ஆகுது? கம்மி ஆகுது. டைம் கம்மி ஆகுது. பட் பர்టిక్యులர் சார்ஜ் பண்ணணும்னா நீங்க கரண்ட் இன்கிரீஸ் பண்ணியும். ஒண்ணும் இல்ல சார், சாதாரண மொபைல் சீக்கிரம் சார்ஜ் பண்ணணும்னா என்ன பண்றோம்? அதிகமான கரண்ட் ரேட்டிங் இருக்கிறது போடுறோம்ல. சாதாரண மொபைல்ல அதே கான்செப்ட் தான். அப்ப கம்மியான டைம்ல பண்ணணும். அப்ப நீங்க ஏற்கனவே 4 மணி நேரம் சார்ஜ் போடும்போதும் அதே சார்ஜ் தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்திருக்கும். இப்போ குயிக் சார்ஜரை வச்சு ஒரு 10 நிமிஷத்துல போடும்போதும் அதே சார்ஜ் தான். அப்ப என்ன டிஃபரெண்ட்? குயிக் சார்ஜர் போடும்போது உங்களுக்கு சார்ஜிங் கரண்ட் அதிகமா இருக்கும். அதே கான்செப்ட் தான் இங்க. அப்ப நீங்க ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணும் பொழுது சார்ஜிங் கரண்ட் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அதிகமாகும். அதிகமானாதான் அங்க சார்ஜ் ஆகும். ஏன்னா நீங்க டைம் தரல, அதுக்குள்ள நடக்கணும் ப்ராசஸ். அப்ப என்ன சொல்ல வராங்கன்னா, இன்டைரக்டா சார்ஜிங் கரண்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகுது. அதனால இம்பிடன்ஸ் ப்ரொவைடட் பை தி கெபாசிட்டர் ஆகுது. நம்மளுக்கு தான் தெரியும்ல, கரண்ட் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆச்சுனாலே நம்ம என்ன எடுத்துக்குவோம்? அது அதனுடைய இம்பிடன்ஸ் வந்து என்ன ஆயிருக்கு? கம்மியா இருக்கு. அது கம்மியான அப்போசிஷன் தருது அப்படின்னு வேற ஒண்ணு. ஓகேங்களா?
ஓகே சார்.
Okay. Yes. Okay, next we'll go to the RL circuit. Okay, next RL series circuit. Okay, நம்ம இவ்வளவு நேரம் பார்த்தது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா only with respect to L பார்த்தோம். பட் பிராக்டிகலா பார்க்கும்போது இண்டக்டர் கூட என்னமா இருக்கும்? சம் சீரியஸ் ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ் இருக்கும். அதனால வந்து என்ன பண்ண போறோம்? பிராக்டிகலா பார்க்கும்போது RL சர்க்யூட்டா இருக்கும். அப்போ RL சர்க்யூட்டோட நேச்சர் எப்படி இருக்கு? இப்போ இங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா வந்து this is resistance, okay, in series with the inductor. Now this is the voltage applied, okay, and this is the current drawn from the battery. And again this voltage and current not necessarily to be in phase, because they can be out of phase also, because we do not know this nature. Okay, if it is purely resistance, okay, if the entire combination is purely resistance, then these two will be in phase. But if this is not purely resistance, if it is consists of some inductive or capacitive nature, then this will be definitely out of phase. That idea you should understand first. Okay, so from this you have to see, okay, now you are giving the supply to these elements R and L. Okay, now R is there, L is also there. Okay, if only R is there, then V and I will be in phase. But because L is there, we do not know what is the phase relationship between the V and I. Okay, the phase could be anything. Yes, wait a bit. So now there will be some phase difference between the V and I. That idea first you should understand, because this is not purely resistance. This is not purely resistance. That idea you should understand. Okay, first V, V and I will have some phase difference. Will have some phase difference. Okay, not necessarily to be 90 degree, because if it is purely inductive or capacitive, then that is 90 degree. Okay, if it is not, V and I will have some phase difference. Okay, in between, some phase difference in between, okay, 0 to 90 degrees, some phase difference in between 0 to 90 degrees. That idea you should understand. Okay, not 0, because if it is purely resistance, that is 0. If it is purely inductor, that is 90 degree. But it consists of both inductor as well as the resistance, then the phase difference will be in between the 0 degree and 90 degree, in between the 0 degree and 90 degree. That idea you should understand first. Okay. Next, we'll proceed from this. Now you apply the KVL here. Before applying, okay, some current is going to flow. Now the voltage drop here is VR, and again here the voltage drop is like VL. Okay, so now you apply the KVL, minus V bar plus VR bar. Okay, VR bar, because don't think that R will not have any phase, because, and again the current, okay, voltage of the R will not have any phase, okay, phase difference, okay, zero phase difference. But if you compare some other voltage, okay, if you compare this voltage and this voltage, there may be the phase difference. Okay, that idea you should understand. Okay, what we are telling, the relationship between the current flowing through the resistance and voltage across the resistance will not have any phase difference. But if we compare the resistance phase with any other element phase, then there may be the phase difference. That's why I'm writing VR bar. Okay, minus V bar plus VR bar plus VL bar is equal to 0. Okay, so V bar is equal to VR bar VL bar. Okay, V bar, again you know what is the drop here, because it is simply I into R. Okay, I bar into R. Okay, then what is VL, because VL means JXL. Okay, what is the impedance here? That is J into XL. Then current is I bar. Okay, now again you can modify this. If you take this I outside, this is R plus JXL. Okay, this we can call it as a I bar into Z. Okay, some impedance. Okay, impedance means combination of this resistance and inductor, that is R plus JXL. Okay, already you know what is XL. XL means what, sir? Omega into L. Okay, omega means what is the frequency of operation. L means what is the inductor value. What is the inductor value? Okay, now your Z is equal to R plus JXL, R plus JXL, and again you can write mod Z here, because the entire circuit here, the circuit is like a R and L only. Okay, so the entire circuit behavior is represented by Z, because R is there, XL is there. Okay, so again from this Z itself, okay, you can conclude the behavior of this circuit. Okay, RL series circuit. So, and what is mod Z? Mod Z is R square plus XL square, square root. Okay, and again how to write this phase difference? What is the phase difference? Pi means tan inverse XL divided by R. Okay, tan inverse XL divided by R. Then what is XL? XL means omega L divided by R. Omega L divided by R. Okay, so phi means tan inverse omega. Sometime in the exam they will give omega or L value. They'll ask pi. Directly you can calculate. Okay, directly with this formula you can calculate. Okay, then I will make some triangle for this one. Okay, this can be written in terms of triangle. Okay, now Z is equal to R plus Z is equal to R plus J omega L, R plus J omega L, and again this R I will represent in the horizontal axis, X axis. Okay, this R I will represent in horizontal axis. Okay, this J I have to represent in the vertical axis only. Okay, vertical, some vertical axis, something like that. Okay, this is like a XL. Okay, omega L or XL. Now what is the value of Z? That Z value will be given by the third dimension. Okay, this time, because if you increase R, this also will increase. If you increase XL, this also will increase. That's why this is Z. That's why this is Z. Okay, so and again from the triangle, this is like a pi. Okay, so already I written no one pi phase difference, that pi. Okay, so pi you can calculate in two manners here. If you see here, okay, you write tan pi, tan theta, tan pi is equal to, okay, XL divided by R. Okay, XL divided by R, and again from this you can write pi is equal to tan inverse. Okay, XL means R, you can write XL itself or omega L, no problem, both are same. XL divided by R. or you can also write in terms of cos phi. Okay, what is cos phi? Cos phi is equal to r divided by, okay, r divided by z. Okay, or otherwise phi is equal to cos inverse of, okay, r divided by z. Or otherwise you can also write with respect to sin phi. Okay, sin phi is equal to xl divided by z. Okay, that means phi is equal to cos inverse of xl divided by z. Okay, so there are three different ways. Okay, based on the parameter what they are giving, you have to choose the formula. That's why what you should know finally you should know this triangle diagram, how to draw the triangle. Once if you know the impedance value, and you should know how to draw the triangle value. Okay, that's a way. Next, okay, power factor. Okay, in general power factor means cos phi. Okay, power factor means cos phi. Okay, in general power factor general formula is cos phi. Okay, once if you know pi, then directly you can calculate cos phi, or directly with this formula you can calculate cos phi. Cos phi is equal to r, and again this will have some confusion because z means complex generally. To avoid that confusion, you take the modulus here. Okay, whenever z is there, you take modulus. Okay, so cos phi is equal to r divided by mod z. Okay, mod z. Okay, then what this power factor is giving? Okay, so in case of inductor and capacitor, you got the power factor as 0. Okay, pure capacitor and inductor power factor is 0. Yeah, and again in case of resistance the power factor is 1. Now your power factor will be in between 0 to 1. Okay, this value will be, okay, this power factor value now, okay, in this case it will be in between 0 to 1. Okay, 0 means pure. Okay, 0 means pure inductor or capacitor. 1 means only resistor. Okay, 1 means only resistor. Only resistor. In between this means combination. Okay, inductor along with the capacitor, or inductor along with capacitor along with the resistor, or inductor along with the resistor. Then you should get, you will get the value in between this. Okay, now I'll tell you some realistic idea here. Say for example, and again this cos phi is equal to r divided by mod z. Okay, r divided by mod z. You know one thing, mod z is definitely what greater than r. Okay, because once if you observe this triangle, mod z is there here. Okay, this has to be greater than this r. Okay, then this value is to be going to be less than, okay, less than 1 only. Okay, less than 1. Suppose for example if the answer is coming as 0.8. Okay, what is the meaning? If the answer is 0.8, what is the meaning? How much real power is there? How much reactive power is there? Sir, anybody? If the answer is coming like this, okay, how much? Because once if you are here, all are reactive power. Once if you are here, all are real power. All are real power. Okay, so what it is indicating, if you write 0.8, okay, so that is like a, how much real power is there? Okay, real power. Okay, so this is like a real power. Okay, out of total power 0.8 is the real power, then 0.2 is the reactive power. Okay, 0.28 reactive power. Okay, so suppose if you are having some apparent power, 80% of the power is real, and then 20% is like a reactive. Okay, so you can have some other value also. So suppose for example if cos phi is coming as 0.6, okay, then what is the real power? Okay, out of total power the real power is 60%. The reactive power is 40%. Okay, reactive power is 40%, because you can see here, because numerator is representing the resistance means real power. Okay, denominator is like a total. Out of total power, how much real power is there? Okay, so this is 80%, then the remaining power has to be the reactive power. Okay, remaining power has to be the reactive power. Okay, that, because that is the actual meaning of this power factor. Okay, sometime actually we should try to improve the power factor. Sometime if it is low, then we have to make the power factor correction by inserting some equipment, okay, in the electrical system. Okay, that is called as a power factor correction. Okay, So I will extend this. Okay, I will extend this formula because and again here instead of resistance you can write it as a voltage by voltage, or you can also write by power divided by power. Okay, now we will see that. Okay, so Z is equal to R plus, okay, JXL. If I multiply with I square everywhere, okay, now this is I square Z, okay, this is I square R, and again JXL I square, okay, and then IZ, I can split I into IZ, then this I can write it as a VI. Okay, V means voltage supplied, I means current supplied by the voltage, okay, VI. Now this is equal to I square R and I square R. Please wait a bit, I am getting one call. Okay, so I square R, this is like, and again XL into I square, XL into I square. Okay, so, and again this also you can write, and again this is XL into I square. Okay, this is like a total power supplied. Yes, okay, this is the real power P. This is like a reactive power Q. Okay, reactive power due to the inductor. Okay, so this is the real power. This is always due to the resistor. This is like a complex power. Okay, this name is called as a complex power because here J is there, complex, or otherwise another name is called a apparent power. Another name is apparent power. Okay, this is like a true power. Okay, the power dissipated of the resistor is called true power. True power or actual power. Actual power or useful power. Okay, this power is called reactive power. Okay, reactive power. Reactive power. Okay, so and again yesterday itself I told you what is the unit for S. Unit is a volt ampere. Okay, for S the unit is volt ampere. For P the unit is watt. Okay, for Q the unit is volt ampere. Reactive. Okay, to denote that is like a reactive. So that means what, if you have 100% power, complex power or apparent power, that will be distributed as a true power and as well as the reactive power. Okay, that means your power factor is telling how much power is, how much total or complex or apparent power is distributed to the true power. Okay, so the complex power we can also write it as a total power. Okay, total, but that is apparent. Okay, you have to understand that. Okay, so that is the idea of the cos phi. Okay, that is the idea of the how much total apparent total or apparent or complex power is distributed to the resistor. Okay, as a true power. Okay, that is the cos phi. Okay, power factor. Power factor. Okay, that means what, the rest of the power will be distributed to the reactive element, either inductor or capacitor. Okay. um, okay, now again we can draw the power triangle. Okay, because S is equal to P plus JQ, so I can draw the power triangle. If I mention P in this axis, horizontal axis, Q I can mention in the vertical axis. Okay, because J is there, this is P and Q. Okay, this is P and Q, and S will come here. Okay, S will come here, and what you can write, the mod Z is equal to P square plus Q square, square root, and then what is pi? This is pi. Okay, so pi is equal to what, tan inverse. Okay, tan inverse, and again this is Q. Okay, this is Q value, tan inverse Q divided by P, tan inverse Q divided by P, or otherwise what is cos phi? Okay, cos phi is equal to P divided by S, or otherwise what is sin pi? Okay, sin pi is equal to Q divided by S. Okay, so from this cos phi is equal to P divided by S, and P is equal to S into cos phi. Okay, P, S means, you know, S means what, simply the product of voltage and current, and again cos phi. Okay, so again here also that formula is getting repeated. Okay, see, this is like a total power, this is some value out of total power, how much value is going to the resistor, how much value. So we are getting another formula to calculate the power across the resistance. Okay, see, P means always the power across the resistance. Okay, this is like a total power. Out of total power, how much? Okay, this will give you some value in between 0 to 1. How much power is going to the resistor? Okay, that is another idea. Okay, so simply you are multiplying with cos phi. Okay, that's why I told you what is the idea of cos phi. Okay, how much power is going to the resistor? Okay, then the remaining power will go to the what, inductor. Okay, so I can calculate Q very simply. Okay, VI means I can put 1 minus cos phi, or otherwise I can put sin pi also. Okay, we'll come to that later in the next slide. Okay, so